Hi guys, it's Sputnik here at Bells Beach in Victoria, Australia, down on the Surf Coast. I'm here because on the weekend I came over for the first ever Surf Coast Trail Marathon. And the truth is I had a bit of a rubbish run. I went in injured, so I hadn't done a lot of training and really struggled on the day and finished right at the back end of the field in the last handful actually. And it prompted me to think about one of these concepts that I have called the in-between zone. Now anyone who knows anything at all about me will know I'm nowhere near smart enough to give scientific or technical advice. So the in-between zone doesn't relate to something like your heart rate or your pacing or anything like that. It relates to something much more important but much easier to get your head around, which is the concept of happiness. So the in-between zone is that zone between being happy with what you've achieved and being unhappy with what you've achieved and wanting to achieve more. And of course, you can have a bit of both. You can be happy that you came over to the Surf Coast and ran this amazing race and saw all this beautiful scenery along the way and got to the finish line, or you can be unhappy that you didn't achieve what you hoped to in terms of your goal time or where you finished in the field. And of course both of those things are true for me. And really what I wanted to run past you is just this idea that you can be a little bit of both, but not to be too much of one or the other probably. There's that old cliche, comparison is the thief of joy, and that kind of makes comparison sound like a bad thing. And of course, if all you ever do is compare yourself to much better things and you end up feeling worse off, of course it is a bad thing, but it can also be a good thing, because if I sat down and said, well, I'm going to compare myself to all the people who didn't even get off their asses and do anything on the weekend, I'm going to feel great about myself. So be careful who you compare yourself to and what you compare yourself to, and think about where you fit in the in-between zone. And that is, make sure that you are happy with what you're achieving and that you're proud of all those things that you're getting out there and doing. And that doesn't mean you can't also be planning and thinking about what else you might like to do to become a better runner, or, of course this doesn't apply just to running, does it? This is life right here, what you can do to get more out of life and be happier in life as well. So the in-between zone, that's today's tip. I'm going to run back to the car and put the heater on and get nice and warm and head back home to Adelaide. Thanks for listening as always, and happy running.